but I think, like with this kind of wake up call, a lot of people that heard about Godot and they had it in the back of their minds as, this open source engine, it's kind of like they finally gave it a try and they saw that it was actually something they could use.
Mhm, mhm.
So, like, I wish I could tell you more names of people that
No.
are just talking with us at the moment, but a lot of people, they really consider it, they tried it, and they thought it was gonna be like the idea, like the popular idea that people have like 2 3 years ago, sort of mental
Mhm,
picture of what Godot is, but it's not that, right? Like it's completely like new in terms of like what you have in the version 4.
mhm,
And yeah, a lot of people just tried it for that week, like 2 weeks that all the drama was going on,
mhm.
and they started sharing stuff on Twitter, which like incentivized more people to try it and give it a go. Because one thing, we are very scrappy in terms of we don't have like super nice looking demos
Mhm.
because everything is kind of like with a bit of programmer art, the kind of some studios were able to make some demos that we use a lot, like the GD Quest demos that we show a lot.
Mhm.
But now that you get people that are, you know, pros and they have their own like nice quality assets and stuff like that, they
Mhm.
give the engine a go and everything looks amazing. And it's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it could always look like that. We just didn't have the skill sets to make demos for you to to understand it. But yeah, that's also like motivating other people. And yeah, I think for most games that are out there that are, indie games, is a viable option. And when they try it, they see why. And it's a bit scary to jump from your engine to another one.
Mhm.
Like as we said before with the asset store stuff and all that, you already invested in thousands of dollars on assets. You
Yeah.
already like spent years of your life working on it. You developed tools for it. You did a lot of things that it's not something that you would say on a weekend. Let's swap engines, right? It's kind of like you don't do that. But now that you have that kind of wake up call, a lot of people tried it, and yeah, I
W-
think it's the moment.
That's something a lot of people don't consider as well. Like, there's a lot of stuff when you're doing like when obviously if you're just like messing around, you never actually made like a project that you're selling for money, like it's fine. You can jump engine to engine. But when you're an established studio, you're going to have like developer pipelines. You're going to have your own internal tooling you've made to make the whatever workflow you're trying to do actually work well with that engine. And you might be able to get it to work in a similar way, maybe better with Godot. But it's not going to be just like, hey guys, I'm a Godot expert now.
Yeah. No. Like it's gonna be like a learning curve,
Mhm,
and also as there's so many people using it for so different things,
mhm,
we're gonna find those areas where maybe things were not as polished as we would like,
mhm,
and maybe none of the big like studios like are using Godot were using those areas, but the new ones will, and they will say like, "What's this?" And then
mhm.
we're gonna have to work on that. But yeah, no, it's a whole different beast every time you go to a different engine.
But I think having these cool demos, like the one I've got up right now, it's one of the ones you shared. It's this like FPS game. It's like really stylized. Um, that Skull game is now made in Godot. If you remember
Yeah,
reposting that one, like this is a super cool looking demo, and like
yeah,
it shows off like the different, because a lot of people have this weird idea, especially, oh my god, especially with Unreal. Like there are so many people who think that because a game is made in a certain engine, it has to look a certain way. Like,
yeah,
yes, if you're doing everything
yeah.
with the default, like Unreal especially, because it has so many powerful, like, it's powerful lighting, all of the, like, the store it has, like, you can make, there's a lot of AAA games that look exactly the same. But like that's not because of the engine; it's because they have no artistic vision. Like you can do super cool things with any engine.
Yeah. That school game that you mentioned, like
Mhm,
that was being done like I think over the course of 8 days on
mhm.
stream,
Oh wow.
and you can go into the stream and see how he did it.
Mhm,
And I was just like looking at it, like I was just amazed at, the game looks very similar to this Devil Daggers, I think is the name of the other one, where you shoot skulls. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, the style of that game, like, is much like polished, like the one that I shared. I think it's more unique, I guess.
Mhm.
But
Well, there was like
I
the
mean, I'm
lighting
amazed that,
demos and stuff you showed as well that people were
yeah,
talking about. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually,
like, having like nice things to show, it always help for adoption.
mhm.
Like, you can get those sorts of results. Hopefully in the future we'll have some more people in the team that will be able to make nice demos for people to use and explore. But this is also like a call for action. Like, everything is open source. All of our demos are open source, and you can contribute to them. So if you want to make them pretty, that's something you can do. You don't have to just make a new, and you can make one of the ugly ones look better. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there are some programmers out there that have like great artistic skills as well. But
Yeah.
I've seen some user interfaces that were designed where there is no user interface design guidelines, and you just let programmers do whatever they want. And sometimes it works, but a lot of the time it doesn't. UI guidelines are very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's also the same, with Godot as well. Like, at the beginning, I think things were smaller and easier to manage in terms of you could pretty much know all the dialogues, all the pop-ups, menus, everything, and kind of, how things are done. So when you implement something new,
Mhm,
you just do it in the same way as it was done before.
mhm,
But now it's so big that I'm starting to find inconsistencies here and there. And
mhm,
that's, I started a design team. So if you join our developer chat, which is on our website, you can find it.
mhm,
There's a design channel where we are trying to find those inconsistencies, make a proper design language for everything, and trying to improve like the general look of it,
mhm.
which is very important. But there's so many moving pieces, different people working in different areas, that sometimes is a bit harder. But that's, Godot has a very nice UI system, which is the same that you can use for your games. So the editor is built with the same nodes that you would use then in your
Oh,
games if you want to.
that's cool.
So every time we improve the control nodes, which are their names, like the UI elements, we also are improving the UI nodes in Godot itself. So, like, you can build nice stuff, and if we can improve that, I think it will be a very nice fresh paint, right, on the project. I am annoyed myself at some of the dialogues that are different, and it's kind of like we show the error under the input field, and in others we show them in other areas. So it would be super nice to just do like a pass on all those, and see where those inconsistencies are and improve them. But yeah, you know,
Well, let's
for
all.
the demos, for the game demos, it's just the important thing is the technology. And
Mhm.
then, like, we have talented people that have made amazing stuff, but I don't think like it makes a lot of sense for them to just spend a lot of time on making it look nice if there's so many things to do as well.
No, no, that's totally fair. Um, that's actually really cool. I didn't know that. I guess the Godot UI was made in Godot. Like that's super cool. Um, I guess it acts as like a
Yeah,
demo
yeah.
of what can be done with it, like that.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You can also extend it. So if you make a plugin, you can extend the editor with GDScript and nodes and all that. You can add your own stuff there at the editor. I built a plugin that's for making visual novels. So, you have all these sort of like dialogues and characters and all that. There's also like many plugins that just extend the editor a little bit. And that's one of the advantages, right, of having the same sort of system there.
Well, I guess that's yeah. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. And I guess that's why you said before, like it would be cool if it was this like sort of centralized thing that people plugged into as they needed to like build additional functionality. You sort of have like a natural plug-in system in Godot because of the fact that it's built in the thing that it is. Like you don't have
Yeah.
to like a lot of projects really struggle to bring in some sort of plugin system. Like GIMP right now is in the process of rewriting their entire plugin system so it actually functions, and it exists. But like here, you don't have that issue. Like that's yeah, that's super cool. Like I didn't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's several ways like this. Like extending the editor is quite simple. Everybody can do it. And if you want to extend the engine, there's also like some other ways, like with GD extensions, which is what it's called, which you can, we had like to rewrite the physics system for Godot 4, and unfortunately, it's not as good as we would wanted it to be. But there's another physics engine which is called Jolt, which was developed by somebody that I believe they worked in Guerrilla Games, and I think it's the physics engine that they use in Horizon, in one of those Horizon games, and it's also MIT. So a user through GD extension was able to just merge it and like create the extension for Godot, so you can use Jolt in Godot, like the physics engine, and that's we are thinking that they will probably be like in future versions. It's gonna be the default physics engine because it's much better than ours. But that would be another way of extending the editor with new capabilities. You can make a new physics for your game in particular if it's a very physics-based game, or some other people has done it for making a lot of visual like taxing effects. Right? If you want to make like a Vampire Survivors kind of game, you really need every little performance you can get to show as many stuff on the screen as possible. You can do it with an extension.